Hi guys, it's Anna and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'll be talking about the common myths about working in a corporate office. So yeah, let's get started. In case you guys are new to my channel, I've been working in corporate for almost 5 years now since I graduated from university, and I graduated with a Bachelor's of Commerce and Law, but I decided to pursue the accounting/finance route because I was more interested in it, and as a result I've been working in a Big 4 audit firm for like 3 years, and then I moved on to going into the commercial space, and then I ended up working for a large FMCG after that for almost 1 year, and then after that I moved on to work as a senior finance analyst at a Big 4 bank. As with everything in these YouTube videos, you know that this is all based off my personal opinion and my experience. So obviously my experience will be very different from someone else. So yeah, just keep that in mind and let's get started. So this video was actually requested by one of my viewers. The person's name is Her Memory. The first myth is that you have to have the relevant like university degree, bachelor's or whatever, or master's to be able to work in your corporate finance job industry. So that's not completely true. So I would say like most of the times, yes, people who say work in accounting/finance have that background from university. However, I feel like firms these days are moving towards more assessing the person's experience and knowledge, you know, as a whole, rather than just looking at like ticking boxes and seeing, you know, whether someone's graduated from university or something like that. So an example of this is that I met some guy who didn't have any accounting background and didn't even study the chartered accountants or CPA sort of qualification, and they were able to work in a Big 4 accounting firm in the audit division, and you don't need to have that to start off with. And once they were on board and, you know, worked for the company for like I think 1 to 2 years, then the company was like, you know, if you wanted to get like a manager position or whatnot, you need to you know, have that relevant qualification. But to get in and to get started, you don't always have to have the relevant university degree. So if you don't have that, and if you're looking to have a certain corporate job in a particular industry that you don't have a university qualification for, don't fear, like it's not the end of the world. Surely it does help, but if you could demonstrate that you have the skills and the drive to learn and willingness to, you know, educate yourself, then I think that'll be fine. The second myth is that people who work in a corporate job are kind of boring and lackluster and demotivated, and, you know, they just sit at the desk and crunch numbers or, you know, whatever they do. That is definitely not the case. I would say like there are people who have fallen into that cycle, unfortunately, and I think a lot of it is not just about the person, but it's the environment which makes the person feel that way. But I would definitely say that there is also people out there who are very energetic and young and enthusiastic, and they really drive that culture. I remember back in the days when I was in Big 4 accounting, and every Friday we had Friday night drinks. So because you enter that company as a batch of graduates in the graduate program, and then you slowly move your way up to like accountant, senior accountant, etc. You have like a cohort to, you know, enjoy drinks with and chat with and rant with. So I think that's like one of the biggest advantages of working in that Big 4 environment. And every Friday we would just go out for drinking. Some people would go out for clubbing and go to a bar, and it was just a lot of fun. I think once you move away from professional services where they accept like regular batches of people, and you move into like a more, I guess, standard corporate environment, like for example working for a Big 4 bank, I feel like the working environment there is going to be definitely a bit more different. Like personally, you know, now that I work in a Big 4 bank in Australia, it's different. Like the vibes and the cultures are different. The people you work with, of course, will impact on the culture. So for example, in my team, a lot of people are actually older than me, and they have kids, they have families to look after. So the vibe that you get from these teams will be very different from, you know, say being with a bunch of people who just graduated university and you're all in it together. So it's going to be very different. So do suss out which culture or vibe you're going for, and yeah, do some research. The third myth is that you work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 every day, and it's kind of like you're doing the same thing. No, that's not the case. So in a lot of corporate jobs that I worked in, working time usually starts at 9 a.m. However, the ending time is always different. It's just a matter of how much you have gotten done and how much more you have to get done, and you finish your work really fast and you're very efficient, you can finish on 5 or 6 on the dot. However, you know, if you don't, then yeah, it's gonna pile up. Some people work on weekends. I know some people work till really late. Like within Big 4 accounting and audit, you're kind of expected to work late, and I'm pretty sure like people who join kind of have that mentality already. So, you know, we worked 10, 11 p.m. nights, 12 a.m. nights. Some people even slept overnight to rush and get their deliverables done. That one's kind of expected, but even after you move out of the environment, let's say you work in a bank or you work in an FMCG, it's not going to be like 9 to 5 every single day. You're going to have days where you work to 7 p.m, 10 p.m. Obviously, it's not as often as, you know, if you were working in Big Four accounting. However, you're definitely expected to punch in those hours, especially if you work a month-end role, like something with recurring deliverables, like year-end, month-end, forecasting season. You know that you'll be working extra hours and you don't always get your time in lieu back. Like sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And the kind of work you do every day is also going to be different. Even though I'm currently in a senior finance analyst role where I'm doing kind of regular like month-end analysis and reporting, my deliverables still change because the business requirements change, the business structure changes, and there's always new things happening everywhere, and you get questions from different people in different parts of the business. So you're always going to be doing some sort of new thing, and it depends on your personality whether you think you're like that or not. Some people prefer to just have a set routine every month and tick that off, and it gives them a lot more stability and less anxiety, whereas some other people find that boring. I think I fall kind of in between those two categories. Like, I don't want a job where I'm literally doing something new every single day, like non-stop, because that's going to be super draining and tiring. Based on that, I think it's better that I have something more routine. But yeah, depends on your personality. And so if you're scared of doing the same thing every single day in a corporate office job, don't worry, it's not the case. Another misconception is that there is a set path to follow in order to, say, climb the ranks and get promoted and be where you are. I think in terms of working in corporate, it's not a very linear progression. Like, you can have a linear progression if you choose to, but I feel like a lot of the times it's like a lot of curves, and you're not always going to be, starting at one point as, say, like a graduate or an analyst or whatever it is that you want to do, and just moving linear up there. I don't think it's necessarily true. I think people generally move horizontally. So let's say you work in a team that looks at, I don't know, like retail banking. Some people might get bored of it and they want to move on to wholesale banking, or they want to move into like superannuation, say if you're in the banking industry. Or some people might be like, that's a bit boring, I want to jump into working for an FMCG where you sell actual tangible products to customers. So you might be jumping in that same role, like as, say, for example, like a senior finance analyst, between different industries, different teams within the same company, different companies. So it's just, don't expect yourself to just work in one spot and head straight up like that. There's no set path. It's about figuring out what you enjoy doing and what you don't enjoy doing. So don't feel like it's the end of the world if you just graduated from university and you're like in a job where like you don't love it and you're not sure where to go, and you're scared of like wasting that time that you've spent in that role. Because at the end of the day, you want to do something that you love, or at least you don't hate. So don't be scared to move around within the company, even if it's at the same level, because you're saving yourself from time and also from depression of working in something that you don't actually enjoy. The next myth is more of a social one, but it's like you don't make any valuable or good friends at work because everyone's just like a hi-bye person. That's not always the case. I think it always depends on your personal experience and also like the culture and the workplace environment that you work in. So when I joined Big Four accounting, like I said, I was with a batch of graduates, so I was able to make a few friends there that I still talk to today. It's been years actually, and I'm very grateful for that, very thankful. But if you work in a culture where people are there just to work and then literally go home, it's harder to get closer to people there. It's harder to develop like a very strong bond that allows you guys to chat outside of work. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So if you're a very social person and you want to like make a lot of lifelong friends from work, then definitely keep in mind that the culture and the team you work with will play a big part in that. So yeah, just suss that out when you're looking for a new job. Now before I end this video, a lot of you guys have commented in my previous videos like asking me whether you should be studying like finance or accounting, or whether you should be studying like say management or HR versus accounting. And I think obviously the choice is yours. However, if I were to give you my 2 cents, it will be do whatever you kind of enjoy more, because what you enjoy more you would do better at. And when you do something that you're better at, you will do well in it, you'll excel and you'll exceed expectations, and you'll just feel a lot happier in that job. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I have received a lot of comments from you guys saying like you find these videos very helpful, and honestly if I could just help someone else out there, that would make me really happy, because growing up I didn't really have that mentorship or support from anyone to really guide me. And so if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more of these videos, and let me know what you want to see next, because a lot of my video ideas may be driven by what you guys say. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a lovely week and Christmas break as well, because thank goodness the Christmas break is here. So see you guys in my next video. Bye.